It's cooking with Cuisinart. Great recipes from master chefs. Now, one of America's greatest chefs, Hubert Keller from Fleur de Lis in San Francisco and Las Vegas, the Burger Bar in Las Vegas and St. Louis, and Sleek Steakhouse in St. Louis. And now, today's recipe.
All right, today we're going to be preparing a real hearty turkey chili, Cincinnati style, which is totally different from the one from Texas. It has definitely less spice in it, and the kidney beans are not baked inside. But the turkey chili we're doing today is definitely a much leaner version of a chili. Well, first we're going to slice some vegetables. So I will start with some red bell peppers, and I will take those red bell peppers. They have been actually seeded, and I'm going to put it upright in the feeding tube. Just like that, and I'm just going to slice it down. So you see how nice and easy that was. So now, of course, I'm going to remove the slicing blade, slicing disc, and I will transfer my vegetables right into the bowl. So that was a very easy task, and you see how even and nicely those bell peppers have been sliced. Okay, now I'm going to chop some onions, and I will be putting the blade in it. Okay, so first let's put some garlic inside and chop it really nice and finely. And again, you can see just 1 or 2 single garlic cloves in a second are chopped nice and evenly. So I put it in here. Now I'm adding the onions. The onions have been sliced in some wedges, so it's a little bit easier just to chop them up. Okay, just a couple on enoughs. So we have the onions and the garlic mixed right here. So I will take the blade out, and I will transfer that into another bowl right over here. So far, everything is pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And with the food processor, obviously, it makes everything so much easier. So once I have my vegetables ready here, I'll chop the turkey breast now. I have the turkey breast right over here, and I will just start on cutting some strips alongside. Okay. And then after that, I'm just going to cut some cubes, so it makes it a little bit easier on the food processor to chop that turkey up evenly. Okay, so once we are here, let's transfer everything into my working bowl. There you go. Of course, I'm going to put the lid up and just going to chop it fairly coarsely then. And you will see again, very simple, very easy. Okay, and the job is done. So once I have that, I will be moving on the stove and get my chili going. So I have a pot right here. I'm going to add some olive oil in it. All right, a little bit of olive oil. And then I'm adding the onions and the garlic that I just chopped a minute ago. All right, and then I'm just going to stir that and to make a nice and translucent. And next, I'm going to cook the turkey chili meat right over here in that pan. I will, first of all, heat up my pan and put some olive oil in it. So pretty nice and generous amount of olive oil. Just going to wait until that olive oil heats up nicely. While the oil is actually warming up in my other pan, I'm going to add all the spices to my chili. So I have some chili powder right here. So a pretty good amount of chili powder, a little bit of curry. Gonna add the curry to it. I have some coriander, chopped coriander here. I have some oregano, so I'm adding the oregano. Some allspice, so that's the allspice, cinnamon, and to finish, 1 bay leaf. So I really want to mix that, stir it up, and just get that cooking the time that I'm going to sear off now my turkey meat. And of course, I want to add some seasoning. So I'm adding a little salt. I'm adding a little bit pepper to it. I think the chili is doing really well right now. I think it's a great start right there. And flavor-wise, of course, we can start on smelling all that mix of spices, which is pretty amazing actually, when all these spices are coming together and what it really does. So the time actually my turkey is browning nicely, I'm going to add the wet ingredients to the chili. So therefore, I add a little bit of salt, just a little bit of salt in it. I'm adding a little bit of vinegar also. And of course, I'm having some tomato paste, and I could put the tomato paste in it. I have some tomato sauce, so tomato sauce goes in it. I mean, there's so many ingredients in there that it must be good at the end. And now I'm adding some water to it. And after the water is in it, I have some chicken stock. I'm adding also the chicken stock to it. And then, of course, our diced red bell peppers. So here we have, and I'm going to make sure I'm going to bring that to a nice simmer now. And once that's simmering, I will transfer the turkey meat into my chili right over here. I'm just going to lower it. Okay. Here we are. So that's the beginning of our turkey chili Cincinnati style. And of course, I will now cover that up, let it simmer, and for about 2.5 hours. All right, here's my chili, and really that smells so good, and you see how nice and thick it is. So what I will be doing, I'm serving that over the spaghetti, just like that, and it's really nice and thick and has lots of aroma. And man, it sounds good. All right, I'm going to be pretty generous on the sauce. All right, and of course it's definitely Cincinnati style to serve it over the spaghetti. And then here I have some sides also that I use. So I have my kidney beans, that I can put the kidney beans just over, just like that. Pretty generous again. Here we are on the kidney beans. And of course I have some oyster crackers. So there, you just sprinkle nicely over. So that's like a feast right over there. And then after, I have some chopped onions here. So same thing, I want to be very generous with the chopped onions. And you always can serve some of the chopped onions or ingredients on the side for your guests, of course. And some cheddar cheese. So let's put the cheddar cheese over it. And look how a great chili it is, Cincinnati style. And I bet you try that recipe, you can enter a contest of a chili cook-off.